Hey, welcome to the College Hockey Show. I am Jeremiah Maxwell, your host. And with me, as always, the Degenerate Bostonian Mike. Mike in Boston. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hey, so real quick, we just want to recap the games of last week just to kind of refresh everybody. Obviously, Michigan State stomping Minnesota 9-3 was one that stuck out. Wisconsin going 1-0-1 against Michigan was huge, too. Has Wisconsin played themselves into the championship or
They're getting there. I mean,
they're 16 in the pairwise right now, right? But you have
split this weekend. I think so.
Huh?
I think a split this weekend. They're in.
Okay,
right?
and they play Minnesota this weekend, so that's a huge matchup. Minnesota is currently third in the pairwise. Yeah. So I was surprised Michigan State didn't jump Boston College, but I guess they like. Oh, and the Beanpot starts this week, right?
Beanpot's Monday. I will be there, folks. I'll get plenty of pictures. And any Beanpot merch I'll get my hands on. Let me know what you want.
Oh, cool, man. I probably don't need anything, but yeah. So let's just real quick. Who are the matchups? How is it going? I know Northeastern won last year, so they're the 1 seed. That's how they do it, right? Yep. It's the 4 teams: Harvard, Northeastern, BU, and BC.
Yes.
All the Boston area teams, Boston Common or whatever, Boston proper, Boston city limits, I guess, right? So I'm assuming it's Northeastern versus Harvard.
First game is Harvard versus BC, the 2 losers last year.
Okay. So Harvard, BC.
And then the winners of the first games is Northeastern, BU.
Oh, he said it's next Monday. Well, this coming Monday, Friday. It's Friday. This after the weekend, Avi. Okay. So you have BC versus Harvard, and then you have BU versus Northeastern. So we are getting hopefully what we want in BU BC final Beanpot, right?
That's what I'm looking at. And to add to it, like Harvard's just not great this year. Sorry, guys. I expected more of you. I don't know what's going on. And BC's the juggernaut we expected. And the joke about the Beanpot, for those that don't know, we call it the BU Invitational. They've had 43 Beanpots. They've won 28. Like,
I thought Northeastern had won the most.
No. They've won the most recently. They've won 3 out of the last 4.
Okay.
But overall,
but they lost a lot of talent. Northeastern's sitting at 22nd in the pairwise, and Harvard is actually below University of Alaska Fairbanks, 39.
I don't know what's going on with Harvard. You have a bad year. That's the way I'm going to chalk it up to. It's just a bad year.
It's like the hardest school in America to get into, man.
They have to have a 3.5 GPA to play. Where I'll say BC because they're playing them. BC only requires the NCAA minimum of 1.75.
Right.
Harvard at any Ivy League school is a 3.5.
Well, dude. Okay, we're talking about a state school and one of the like preeminent Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
In the maybe one of the best schools in the entire world. So BU BC final, it could be. Yep, let's see. Every time we say that though, like Northeastern's like upsets people. Like they just play good in that. So
people need to remember, if Harvard and Northeastern win, we still get a BU BC third place game.
That's true.
All right, we got 2 chances for BU BC.
There's no way Harvard's beating BC.
I don't think so.
There's no way. I mean, like, do they fall in the pairwise if that happens?
Yeah, bad. Or I'd be shocked if they didn't. The only reason why like them and Michigan State are so far apart.
Do the Beanpot games count for the pairwise? I guess I should have asked you.
Yes.
Okay.
Monday the 3rd, yes. Monday the 10th for the championship game, yes. That third place game, no. And I think it's stupid. But that's also why I don't buy championship game tickets, because I don't want to pay for 2 games. And one of them typically isn't that good because the teams don't care. And I'm like, I'm not paying through the nose to watch a bad game and then the game I want to see, but I have to pay extra now. I'll sit at home.
So you watch the championship game at home?
Yeah, I always do. It's
the first round is the way to go.
Yes. Now,
both games then? Is it just
Oh
like
yeah, no, I get there around 1:00. I am at Northeastern's pre-party this year.
Is that a holiday? The Monday, February 3rd, is that a holiday?
It should be in Boston for sure. I don't think it is.
Yeah.
But think Northeastern will be at the Greatest Bar. I'll be at their pregame party.
Is that Mikey Grinelli's family's bar? Okay.
But they rented it out. So like every year, a different school rents the Greatest Bar. Every school rents out a bar. To be very specific, but the Greatest Bar always rotates. Northeastern got it this year. That's my go-to spot. I get to Boston like 1:30, 2:00 to make sure I can get in as one of the extras they have. And I'll be partying up with Northeastern this upcoming Monday and all their alumni.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, I was a huge fan. It was so much fun to watch that last year. Like, I'm definitely going to make sure I'm tuning in to the Beanpot, which should be on. Is it on Nessun? ESPN Plus should have it.
ESPN Plus should have it. I think it's on regular ESPN. Don't quote me on that. Dunkin' Donuts Beanpot, I believe that's on.
Yeah, let's do some research. Avi wants to talk about the games coming up. We will get into that real quick. Avi, do you feel good? Like, was there anything else from last week before we go into that you wanted to talk about before we go into like breaking down all the other games and stuff?
I thought it was big. Duluth split with Denver. That hurt their pairwise a little bit, which also hurts a team like Maine.
Right.
And then ASU splitting with Colorado College. That hurts them a lot because Colorado College has had some bad losses, but they got a split. They got one win. The concern there was you gave up 4 goals in the third.
Arizona State right there on the cusp. They're 14th in the pairwise. What, 16 get in, right?
16 get in, and there's 3 auto bids. So it's we need them to win a couple more games, but they've got winnable games. They've got some easy ones to win, and they've got a lot of help in front of them. So yeah, I think they're in. I think they're going to get in, but no more giving up 4 goals in the third period. No, none of that, and none of them are empty netters. By the way, you gave up 4 real goals with under 10 minutes to go, and you blew a 4-1 lead.
So. Yeah, just to break down the games for today, UMass is in Boston College, UMass Lowell. Quinnipiac Dartmouth sneaky low key because if Quinnipiac loses that game, they could fall out of that.
Yes.
New Hampshire BU, that's pretty big. BU trying to stay in the top there. I think if New Hampshire beats them, that's huge too, right?
Right.
By the way, that new BU goalie, Colby Cohen, and I were talking about. Oh, and I buried the lead. Colby Cohen going to be on the show next week. Looks like. Fingers crossed. We're hoping. Yeah, fingers crossed. Colb, we'll get Colb on. Yeah. If you're not familiar with Colby's game, he's BU alum, won national championship. Then won a Stanley Cup ring with the Boston Bruins as a Black Ace. Played a bunch of the AHL for a lot of years. I think he played in Europe too. I'm not sure. He knows everybody. He knows everybody in hockey. He's been there, done that. He's from the Philly area. But he's BU alum, and I believe he runs BU's NIL.
He's got his hand in it. Yeah,
you think he runs it? So we'll ask him.
Run it all. Yeah,
we'll ask him. We'll ask him about that. So make some notes. Like, what does that entail? If you guys have questions about that, let me know. Bobby, mainly you, because you're like our diehard fan that's in this channel on a regular basis. Tell your friends. I know 2 is a weird time, but. This will upload into a podcast at some point so people can listen to it. I just got to work those details out. Okay, obviously Princeton, Harvard, the classic rivalry. We talked about that. That's a cool thing that's happening. Penn State, Michigan, Avi said that's going to be a huge one. I think Penn State's right there too, are they not, as far as the pairwise? They're in the mix.
You're in the mix. One of those, like, we're outside looking in, but they still get a shot. 24? Yeah, so like you got to – and they have the schedule to – catch up though. You get 2 against Michigan, you get 2 more against Michigan State, you get 2 more against Ohio State. Like, you have the firepower to climb up.
Okay, and let's not bury the lead. Michigan State versus Ohio State, that's going to be a big one just because Michigan hates Ohio. It doesn't matter what the teams are. Obviously, Michigan Wolverines versus Ohio State Buckeyes is like the college football thing, but I'm pretty sure this Michigan State Ohio State College route is going to be a huge one. These are ranked teams, 2-11. And the game that Mike will be at in person, UConn at Providence. got to get to Providence here. It's such a great venue. So
I love how small it is. Like I think like I have quote unquote the last row.
That's right. Avi, I forgot they played Ohio State beat Michigan State last night 4-2. Thank you for the game of the night. We buried that too. That was a pretty big win for Ohio State.
I was shocked. Augustine, I don't know what you were doing on that third goal. Got to stay up, and you know that. But he knew it too immediately. Like he turned around, had his hand over his glove. Over
you're gonna lose games, but this probably solidifies Ohio State being in.
Yeah,
for sure.
Most likely. I think
they're
so.
8th, sitting right now 8th, tied for 8th with Providence. So those teams are probably in. Yeah. So, dude, just shoot me a text during the game if we get anything wild because, we won't even be live. So don't worry. You could call me. Just call me. I don't care if there's something cool. Just you won't believe what I saw.
Well, I'll give you the Conley updates as soon as I get them. Because for those that don't know, Team USA Conley, he only played 2 periods last week in Providence's losses to Lowell.
Is he hurt?
He was hurt. He got hurt. He didn't play the 3rd period, the overtime, the shootout. And then Saturday, he didn't dress. And he's listed as game time decision now.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So I'm like, is Conley going to dress tonight for Providence? I don't know. And I will get everyone an answer if I see him in warmups or not, how he looks. But that's what I'm looking out for.
Any other, obviously, we talked about the Governor's Cup here in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska, Fairbanks game. That is in Fairbanks. So I won't be going. It's only an 8-hour drive away. I'd have to leave now to make it on time. I don't think I would even make it on time. I think it's a 40. I actually could probably get a military flight there for not free. So if I really wanted to go, that takes 40 minutes. So that's a lot better. Then I'd be stuck in Fairbanks for the weekend, though. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Nodak at St. Cloud. That's kind of it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. For the other player I was looking at, it was Mikhail Yegorov. For those that have seen, it's the BU goalie that went on 30 seconds early. And
I was going to talk. That was the biggest load of crap, by the way. They gave them a penalty. No, that they let him on the ice. Colby took the high road on that one, but boy, I saw that was not cool. I thought that was like some Bush League stuff from BC there. Again, man, be careful what you put out there, and the hockey gods remember these things. I'm just saying, I don't like it. And boy, that guy didn't give up much, did he? One goal.
So I ran into Jay at Star Market. It's a grocery store near us. I was down at the one on Calm Ave, and I asked him, were you going to redshirt him? And he said yes. And then, that was it. That was the only question I asked. We were in the middle of checkout. I wasn't trying to bug him down. But the intention was for him to redshirt because you had Karan, who took you to the Frozen Four last year.
Yeah.
This is Yurgov's net. This is the kid that...
Dude, that guy looked like a monster. He's going to be a beast in the NHL.
Well, run it back to our first episode when I said Michigan State BU in the chip. I thought this kid was running, not redshirting. And if he starts both games this weekend, he can't redshirt no more. He'll have exceeded his minimum or maximum amounts where you could redshirt. So it's truly Yurgov's net.
If he plays both games.
Yeah, or even I should say both games. If he starts 2 more games this season.
Right. What do you think?
I think it's his. I think he's starting all the games.
BC won the first game. How much?
5-2, 6-2.
Okay, and they got the BS penalty, right? That was that game. Oh no, the penalty was in the game against Yurgov.
Yeah, and
the only goal that was scored. Yeah,
1-0. That's the only goal.
Well, it was 2-0 because they got an empty netter. But
I don't count that. I didn't count.
Right, but it's a 1-0 game. Yeah, I mean, dude. So you think with that one performance against BC, he solidified the net there?
I thought it was his to start the season.
Yeah, but he wasn't with the team. He just came. He just got there.
Right. I thought he was going to be earlier, and I thought it was going to be like him running from, and he's, he just got here, and it's his. I think it's his. I actually talking to Colby on Twitter the night of the game after it was over, and he said I think it's his too after that performance.
Yeah, he looked like a monster. Yeah, I talked to Colby a little bit there too. He's got to be stoked, man. I'm sure the BU alumnus Terriers, Ryan Whitney, and all them guys are got to be going wild. With BU having a guy like that. Hopefully he's there a couple of years.
He signed a 2-year agreement, or the 2-year commitment. So
what a monster! That dude looked unbelievable. He looked like a man.
He is. The kid's nuts.
Okay. All right. Let's get into the games right now. Stonehill and LIU are pucks dropped. So we obviously we buried the lead again. Just to recap, Ohio State at home beat Michigan State 4-2. Mike's, I can't believe I missed that game too. I should have had that game on. Your goal scorers for Michigan State were Doror and Gucciardi. I hope I said that right. I'm probably not even close. Fontaine for Ohio State. Riley Thompson had a pair of goals. Thomas Weiss had a goal. So they win 4-2. Pretty nice win, man. Again, Thursday night hockey, was not thinking about that game at all. Obviously, like BC, UMass Lowell, Beal battle. That's 8 versus 1.
That is such a pairwise game, too. Not only a pairwise game, that is a Hockey East tiebreaker because they're split 1-1 this year.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. Like, it's going to be funny. If Lowell wins this game, BC could be the number 1 team in the country, but the number 2 team in Hockey East. Like, it's
okay.
Just because Hockey East just goes by straight points, not the pairwise. And like seeding wise, that's huge.
Right.
For the first rounds. Like that is a crazy, crazy game. And then I think you were talking about earlier, St. Cloud and Nodak. That's a barn burner. They both need a sweep to get back into the picture.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Beanpot, February 1st and 10th, TD Garden. That's where the Bruins play. Game 1, Harvard versus BC. You like BC, obviously. Game 2, Northeastern versus BU. You like BU, or those are just the odds?
I like BC BU here. Especially, I'm going to say it, I want Yurgov in the net.
We got to see BC BU in the final of the Beanpot. It just makes sense. The Battle of Comm Avenue. There's a great documentary on ESPN, 30 for 30, that's older. It's great. If you haven't seen it, you've seen it, I'm sure, Mike, haven't you?
Yep.
Watch it. Go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. For that one, fun fact for all you Massachusetts people, you can bet those games in Massachusetts because it's a tournament. And basically they said if someone's going to be corrupt, you can't corrupt each other. So Lord have mercy for those kids. Be nice to them and enjoy the games, guys. But
yeah.
It gets a little sketchy. You can see it. It's kind of the fun part of being in the games. You can see the people that have a small fortune on it, and it's kind of fun. But also watching those fan bases go at each other.
Another reason I believe Massachusetts is a hockey state.
It is.
Over anything else. I get the Patriots have won 6 Super Bowls. I get the Red Sox have won all the World Series that they've won in recent years after going 86 years without winning one. I get the Celtics have won 14 NBA championships. I just feel like all these kids go to college in those areas, root for those college teams. BC has an occasional good football team. Obviously, when Doug Flutie was there, when Tom Coughlin coached him, I thought Bill O'Brien did a really good job with BC this year.
Yeah,
I love that guy anyway. I root for him. I think he's a class human being. Anyway, Northeastern won 3 of the last 4 bean pots. BU has the most, 28 out of 43. Who do you like for the bean pot all in all? If it's Yurgov, do you like BU to upset and win? Boy,
I want to be very specific. If Yurgov is in net, give me the Terriers for number 29.
You should bet this now. Can you get advanced numbers on BU?
They won't do that. I haven't seen it yet. I'll wait till tonight as more lines come out. But right now, no winners are posted. Okay. If Yurgov is not posted, though, I'm taking the Eagles. I like the Eagles are a better team. There's a reason why they're ranked.
I mean, they let's not kid ourselves. They should be competing for and/or winning the national championship this year. They are one of, if not the best team in the NHL or in the NCAA. It's them. It's Michigan State, right? Those are the 1A, 1B that we think could be. If they're not there, we'll be surprised if one of those 2 teams are not in the championship game. Okay, your bets. You want to get into them for the game?
Of course. Come on, I'm a degenerate man. I got to cash in on my winning forklift driving. Thank you, Vamoose. Thank you.
Oh
Plus
my
350
God.
Last night.
I can't believe that's even a thing. I can't believe that's even a thing. How do you? I mean, dude, this is like it's hard for me to keep up on all the hockey I'm watching, and I missed the college game, obviously. How do you do it, man? I don't know. Let's get into your parlay here. You have a parlay plus 346. You have Minnesota, Western Michigan, and Michigan State.
Yep. So I'm taking Michigan State because there's no way that team is getting swept. I can't see it. I can't.
Oh, they're going to beat Ohio State.
They got to beat Ohio State. I'm taking Minnesota because they just got swept. Granted, very good Michigan State team. You don't get swept. They don't lose 3 in a row. So that's why I'm taking them. I'm taking Michigan because, obviously, you said it best last week. They could score 1 goal. They could score 5. We don't know which Michigan team's going to show. But that team doesn't miss tournaments. They don't. And they're in barely, but a win certainly gets them in. It pushes them into that closer to 10 mark. The magic number this year they're saying is 12 or 13, which is the same every year. It's looking like 13 is the magic number. So, but I want to see, they need a win. They know they need a win. I'm taking Western Michigan because part of me actually thinks I'm going to take them minus 1.5 on a side bet here. Too much speed, too much power. I've praised their coach all years and years and years now. How they haven't got over the hump and gone to the Frozen Four, I don't know. And I'm never going to put it like I would say, oh, it's the coach's fault. They can't win. They can't get past the barrier. It's not. Like, I watched this guy hand on your shoulder, calmly talking to his players. He gets intense at least on my opinion, gets intense with them when he needs to. This guy brought them ready to play. I watched him come to BC, and they were beating BC until 5 minutes, and this weird guy, Ryan Leonard, got the puck and decided, I'm going to go score a goal. And then in the last minute of the game, actually put his hand on his coach's chest and pointed to his own and put himself on the ice and proceeded to score again.
Yeah. Bobby agrees with you. Sparty should win the game.
I think Sparty rolls.
Let's talk about the game you're going to.
Providence, UConn. I can't wait for this one. Number 8 versus number 4. As I said, guys, Conley's Providence's best player. He was out against Lowell last week. He missed all of Saturday, missed the third period and the shootout on Friday.
So you like UConn in this, huh?
If Conley's not in, I love UConn in this. If Conley's in, I'm going Providence. So it's going to be one of those, I'm not touching it. The Savage is taking
the Savage is on him. Yeah, I see.
He's already on. He doesn't care. He don't care.
So Mike will treat out the Savage's picks, but the Savage has Minnesota, Augustine, Clarkson, BU, Maine, BC, and Providence.
Yeah, he's a psychopath taking a 7-legger.
What did he get last week that was like a huge
last week? No, he only took Merrimack straight up for 425 last week.
Yeah, okay, but that was still like a pretty
2 weeks ago he had a plus 1900, the psycho, and this one's going to be more.
Oh yeah.
Because he's got a couple of them don't have lines yet. They'll be posted in 30 minutes. So I'll tweet it out for you guys what his odds are.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I'm like, dude, so if you're following his parlays, guys, he's 5 and 7. He's had 12. He got 5 right, but 3 of those were plus 1,000 or better.
Yeah, which if you bet any amount of money, if you bet $10, you're winning $100, dude. Like that's
right.
That's really nice return, right?
Yeah.
So
the 1900 was 190.
Avi goes, watch Omaha upset Denver. You think that happens?
I mean, as a Denver hater, yes. I don't want it to happen though, because I want Arizona State in, and the more a higher Denver is, the better Arizona.
Yeah, because the Arizona State swept them. Yeah. So, okay. Other games that obviously Princeton, Harvard, that's a classic matchup. Where are you at with that one?
I like Princeton here. As much as Harvard, I think needs to win more. I mean, they have 12 NHL or former NHL players' sons on that team.
Yeah, but that's
Princeton here.
Rare that those. Yeah, I'm tracking. Yeah, I mean, hockey sense should be off the charts, right? Intellect should not be a problem there. Wisconsin at Michigan. Minnesota, sorry. Wisconsin at Michigan. Minnesota.
I love Soda just because they just got swept and they're now at home. Wisconsin is so hungry, though. And that's why it's
they're kind of right there too. They're 17th in the NCAA rankings, and they're what did we say? They were 16th in so they're right in there with the pairwise.
If they split, I think they jump into 13.
I don't. That sounds right with the way this. I don't know that I have figured out this pairwise, but
no one can truly figure it. If you get a supercomputer or give me an hour, I'll figure it out for you. But
okay, what about Nodak versus St. Cloud? And I know Avi brought that up earlier.
They both need a sweep. They both need it. And unfortunately, they've played themselves out of the tournament. I like St. Cloud's strength of schedule more, hosting BC, where Nodak hosted BU. Nodak went to Cornell. That should have been a bigger game than it was, and unfortunately it wasn't. But I like St. Cloud's strength of schedule, so it gives them a better chance to get in. Game to game tonight, I've been very critical of Nodak's coach, and no disrespect to him. It's just the few times
they've had some pretty decent coaches through the years there that have gone through there too, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason you guys are a powerhouse and everyone knows you. Like
who won the national champion? Who was the coach the last time they won a national championship? It's been a while.
And like this one, I'm just critical on, like when I saw him play in BU last year, not putting out Blake to start the overtime, I thought was insane. Your center,
which by the way, Blake is starting on the first line for the Carolina Hurricanes this year.
Right. Thank you. So not having him out there was insane to me. You put out a power forward that made an awesome move over Hudson and ended up having like a greasy goal on a 3-on-3, which won it for him. I mean, take notes down. Celebrini lost a faceoff, first of all, and then him and Hudson got overpowered. Just a very rare, fluky moment. But even throughout that game, I didn't like how Blake was not matched up with Celebrini and Blake was not matched up with Hudson. And I'm like, this isn't adding up to me. And I've been very critical of him this year. Like when they came into Cornell, the team didn't look sharp. And St. Cloud's better than Cornell. We can all see that this year.
So Brad Berry coached Nodak to a national championship in 2016. And they haven't even been to the finals since.
It's a long time.
I mean, that's almost a decade now. Hey, Mark, it's good to see you, man.
Hey, Mark.
Appreciate you being in. Good afternoon, hockey freaks. Appreciate you, Mark. Avi says he's going St. Cloud 5-3 in that.
I think it's 5-1.
God, I hope Denver doesn't lose, honestly. Yeah.
I want ASU to. I do want Denver to pretty much run the table so ASU can get in. Maybe they go 4-2 because they have to play Arizona State again. So
God, you got to feel for Minnesota Duluth, who won 2 in a row, didn't get a chance to defend for 3 because of COVID, and then UMass wins with Greg Carvel, right?
UMass also beat Duluth with a backup goalie because the starter failed the COVID test 2 days before. So their backup had to play Duluth, and then the starter played in the chip.
Right. They beat St. Cloud in that one. So,
yeah, Avi, I'm with you. Many states got to get in. Their schedule isn't strong enough to get in on their own. So they got to keep winning. And I think it's going to be them and Bentley are going to be 2 spoilers. So I believe those would be guys that would kick out of Wisconsin because Wisconsin's 16 right now.
By the way, BC 2012, we're going on 13 years that they've won, and BU hasn't won since when Colby comes on. We'll have to talk about it. That was the last national championship they won.
Yeah, they had was it Quinn? He was. I like Jay better.
Jerry York was the coach for BC in 2010. Well, right. BC, so it went BC, BU, BC, Minnesota Duluth, BC. So in that very short time, BC won 3 national championships in that really quick time there. But Jack Parker was BU's coach when they won in 09.
Well, when Parker left, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Quinn took over, and he was he was good. He was serviceable. He took them on some good runs. But
well, they went to a final 2015. They lost to Providence 4-3.
That was the craziest thing ever. Frozen.
And then he probably was already after that with the Rangers, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Stonehill scored. Avi giving us updates.
Let's go Stonehill. We need more teachers in this world. For those that know, I'm not knocking them. They prioritize like an education major. They're actually a very good school if you want to become a teacher.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, maybe if you go there, you get a chance to work at like a private school where you can make a little more scratch as a teacher.
Well, they so
Would you play into U.S. politics? It sounds like all schools are going to go be private schools.
I know, right? Bowling Green play. Yes, Bowling Green is sneaky good, and they may steal that division. But unfortunately, again, like that division, we're looking CCHA here, looking at like auto bid only, and that's what I say. Like you need to be 13 or better this year.
Who's Bowling Green playing this weekend? I didn't see. I've got the thing here, and I don't see.
They might be off. No, Northern Michigan, second worst team, or the third worst. Like that's the thing. That division, I'm looking at Bowling Green, Minnesota State, Augustana. Like those three teams, only one's going to get in, unfortunately.
Right, Augustana is ranked.
Augustana is sneaky good. I mean, they've had some big wins. Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Colorado.
Did you say Minnesota? Is Minnesota State in that division with them, though?
Yep. That's what
they're
I mean.
ranked. They're ranked too, though. And when I say ranked, they're ranked in the NCAA rankings. I mean, everybody's ranked in the pairwise, right? But we're talking when we speak of the pairwise, we're really just talking the top 16.
Yes.
But so okay. Any closing thoughts before we close up shop today? We're going to be back next week with Colby Cohen. BU scored the game winner in the national championship game in 2009. Was said what we talked about. He knows everybody in the game of hockey. He's the host of Morning Cup of Hockey. He works for ESPN and does national color. He will be at the national championship games calling the games as the color analyst with John Buccigross. So we will see him there as well. So we will have him next week for less than 20 minutes because our show is only a 30-minute show. So maybe we go a little bit long that day, Mike. I know you might have a little bit of leeway there with Colby, but we'll just see because I told him, probably no more than 20 minutes just because here's a guy he's coaching. He's involved in USA Hockey. He's doing all this stuff. Plus he has tiny babies he's taking care of. So
that's so awesome, man.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. And I a huge debt of gratitude for Colby to come on. So no longer show, guys. Yeah. Do a longer show. Yeah, Mark, it'll be a little bit longer. Let's talk, Doug. What's up, lad? Yay. I finally got you, Blair. I texted you. So this is my buddy Blair, and he lives in your area. I was in the Army with him, Shannon Blair, and he makes I think he makes some dog toys out of like recycled fire hoses is what he does. So, but he, I don't know how many years we were together here in Alaska when when I was an airborne paratrooper back in the day. But Blair, it's so good, man. And I saw your comments. I'm terrible with the comments and the thing. So thank you. And I shot you a text just thanking you, man. I appreciate you very much. So we will be back next Friday, same bad time, same bad channel, 2 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Alaska Standard Time, or 11 p.m. Pacific Time. So hopefully we get some diehard college hockey fans coming in to talk. Like I said, Colby Cohen next week. We're moving on up. Man, we're going to start making some money on this podcast.
It's going to be fun.
We'll see. It's going good, man. You got to get some sponsors. So Blair, if you want to sponsor, I'll buy a bunch of your dog toys too, man. I could use some really durable dog toys for my 5 dogs that I have now, Blair. So anyway, I appreciate everybody. We're going to be back again next Friday. We're going to have the bean pot to talk about. Obviously, we're going to have, we won't have had the final yet. Right. So we'll know who's going to be in the final. So that's going to be awesome. So yeah. All right, guys. Let me make sure I've got appreciate all you guys. Have a great one.
Appreciate you.
Get a college hockey entry.